When sourcing for your eBay store, what is the most impactful feature that you need to calculate when you look at an item? Well, it's sell-through rate. But what is it? How do you calculate it? How does it work? What are the specifics? I'll answer all these questions because this is the only sell-through rate video you'll have to watch. So first of all, what is sell-through rate? Well, sell-through rate is how fast an item is going to sell once you put it on eBay. So for instance, say you scan a pair of glasses and you notice that there's 80 of those exact model glasses listed on eBay. Well, then you filter by how many have sold and you notice, hey, there's 100 of these sold. So you would take the 100 sales divided by the 80 that are currently listed, and in this example, you'd get a sell-through rate of 125%. Now, in essence, sell-through rate is how fast an item will sell once you list it. 100% being it'll sell 100% of the time in 90 days. 200%, it'll sell 200% in 90 days, or 100% in 45 days. Inversely, 50% is it'll sell 100% of the time in 180 days. And this is what you'll use all the time when you're dealing with like technology that sells pretty well. Different specific items like glasses, for example, always normally have a model number, just stuff that's easy to search up specifics. But where it gets much more complicated is when we talk about products that either are one of one, or only a couple have ever existed on eBay, or maybe they're just so specific and there's like 12 different versions of this product. Well, how do you calculate sell-through rate like that? And that's where item specifics come in, and that's when your gut comes in. You see, eBay doesn't just make it easy to calculate sell-through rate on just any item that exists. I mean, I'm sure they'd like to, but that would be nearly impossible. I like to use VCR DVD player combos for this example, because if you search up DVD VCR combo on eBay, your sell-through rates are going to be incredibly high. But then when you go to Goodwill, you're sourcing, you find a DVD VCR player, and you search up the specific model number, you might find that the sell-through rate of that VCR player only has like a 30% sell-through rate. And you're like, wait, what? So now we move on to the most important part of this video. How do you calculate sell-through rate on the fly for specific items versus a total amount of items? And this really breaks down like the syntax of eBay. How you label things is really important because that changes your sell-through rate. If you title the VCR DVD player and you don't put a VCR DVD combo in there, it's probably not going to sell. But if you put its exact name, its model number, and you put DVD VCR combo in it, then its sell-through rate goes through the roof. Let's take these two DVD VCR combos for example. Now they're different brands. One has a much higher sell-through rate, one has a much lower sell-through rate. And you see, what I've found is their sell-through rate is actually somewhere in the middle of these two concepts. You know, no one's getting on their phone and searching, this exact model of VCR DVD combo unless they're looking for their remote. No, when a customer looks on eBay, they're looking at brand and they're looking at what the object is. For this example, they are VCR DVD combos. So this model might have a 30% sell-through rate, but it doesn't actually have a 30% sell-through rate. That would mean that this VCR DVD combo will sit on your shelf for 8 months. Now trust me, it's not gonna sit on your shelf for that long. It'll get plenty of views and someone will pull the trigger. And that's because what you're actually gonna use to sell this item is the keyword VCR DVD combo. And that's how you're gonna get your sale, because people are looking for that specific player not very much, but they're looking for that keyword a lot more. And so yes, it's going to sell slower than the other VCR player. That's just how it works. The other VCR player is going to sell via its name, its brand. When a brand has a sell-through rate that's much higher than another brand, it's just gonna sell better. But the object itself is going to define the base sell-through rate of an item. So just because you look up a VCR player, a specific one, and it doesn't sell well, doesn't mean it's not gonna sell. And this is just one example of sell-through rate. Now I'm gonna get on my computer and we're gonna calculate sell-through rate together of another item that's kind of iffy. So let's say you're at Goodwill, you come across some Ray-Ban sunglasses, you're like, yes, holy grail. Well, be careful, because not all Ray-Ban sunglasses sell. You see, if we go here and we just type in Ray-Ban sunglasses, we can see that there are 58,000 listed on eBay. That's a lot. But the good news is, when you scroll down to sold items and you click that, it's 42,000 sold. That's a really good sell-through rate. And if this is the only thing you calculated when calculating sell-through rate on an item, you might be in trouble. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still sell things with just the tag Ray-Ban's sunglasses. But a lot of people, when they're looking for sunglasses, or even more particular, glasses frames, they're looking for specific model numbers. And there's a lot of different ways you can look at this. See, you can look at just general terms. For instance, let's look at aviators. So now we're looking at aviators. Now, aviators is the most popular thing when it comes to Ray-Ban's sunglasses, and you'll see that there's 15,000 of them. And if we scroll over here to sold items, you'll see that there's 16,000 sold. That's an even better sell-through rate. So now you know that if you label something as a Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses, that it'll have a sell-through rate of 110%. But here's where you have to be careful, because what if we factor in, they're women's aviator sunglasses? Well, women's aviator sunglasses are actually significantly less popular than men. So as you can see, we have 5,400 results, and sold-wise, we only have 2,600. That's like a 50% sell-through rate. What's going on there? And to go even a step further, what if you find glasses that are bright orange? Women's aviator Ray-Ban sunglasses that are bright orange. You search that up, there's 79 results, not very many of those, but you might find one. And if you look at sold 12, that is a devastating sell-through rate. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean I'm not gonna pick up these glasses right here? Well, no, I am gonna pick up those glasses because they're Ray-Bans, even though they're women's, even though they're bright orange, there's different ways you can sell them. As you see, you could sell them by selling them as Ray-Ban sunglasses. You could sell them by selling them as aviator sunglasses. You can even get a decent sell-through rate when you're calculating women's aviator sunglasses. But orange just doesn't seem to be a great color. What if we say they're gold sunglasses, not orange sunglasses? Well, as you can see, there's 2,400 of them. And when we look at sold, well, there's 743 sold. That's much, much better. So for those type of sunglasses, I would label them as gold and not orange, because orange doesn't sell. And lastly, yes, I do purchase a lot on sell-through rate, but there are items that you just don't have to care what the sell-through rate is. And as a reseller, as you go out and do things, you'll get a feeling of what'll sell, even if it has a bad sell-through rate. These are mostly one-of-one items, and you have to be very careful when you're searching these, but you find them all the time. Let me give you an example. I found a clock at a rummage sale the other day, and this is the clock. And as you can see, we can look up this clock. It's a nice brass clock. You'll be able to see that there's only 3 of this exact clock listed. 3 of them. It says 7 results. These other clocks are completely different. They're other of the same brand of clock. And if you scroll down and you look at the sold items, none of this exact clock has ever sold. And you might say, this is very scary as a reseller. And you'd be right. I wouldn't want to buy this clock for $50 to try and flip it for $100, but it was $5, and my gut tells me that this clock is going to sell. I'm a big believer of going through inventory as quickly as possible. And so what I did is I put this up on an auction for $50. I put it up this morning. It'll take 7 days, but I almost guarantee someone will bid for it. And I'll make like $40 off the transactions, which is great for me. So just remember, sell-through rate matters, but it doesn't matter. Be careful about calculating it, and I hope your items sell. See ya.